Hey, everyone, and we're back. Thanks for stopping back by and checking me out again. Um, I'm working on some theme music because we shouldn't just start these things off going right into the podcast. And every good podcast needs a good theme song, right? So hopefully by next podcast, there be a song. And hopefully you like it. Hopefully it's catchy enough and everybody kind of likes it. It's a bop anyway. So, as with most new things, and this podcast is no different, it's like building a plane while flying it. And I've never been on a plane where they've been building it as it's been in the air. I hope no one's ever experienced that. It's a terrible metaphor for what's basically a travel podcast, but it's very appropriate. I'm still kind of sorting out the structure for the podcast, but I do want to start off each and every podcast with a positive affirmation or mantra. I think it's very appropriate for kind of what I feel like the outline of this podcast aims to do is to kind of inspire women to kind of take our lives back and do more things for us without feeling guilty about taking the time to do things would exactly make us happy. So, the first mantra, and this is the official first podcast. I know I said the other one was kind of like the official unofficial first episode, but this is the official first episode. So, the mantra for this podcast, which I think is very appropriate, is I am enough. Say it with me. I am enough. And I think it's very appropriate because we live in a world that constantly tries to tell us that we're not enough. Um, we have filters now that don't even glitch, so they look like the real thing. I saw a story, I believe it was on YouTube about it a couple of weeks ago, that they have these filters now that don't even glitch, so you can't even tell that it's a filter. It looks real. We have the augmenting of our bodies, and Instagrammers telling they're losing weight and they're using, diet aids to help them, which is nothing wrong with that, but they're acting like they're at the gym and working out for 3 hours and losing weight. So we live in this world um, that constantly tells us that we're not enough. But guess what? We are enough. Despite everything that we've been through, we are all still here. We finished school, we got those degrees. They told us, some of you guys that you'll never marry and you've got husbands, and they said you wouldn't have children and you have children. I mean, we are enough and we are still here and we are still absolutely thriving. And so I just want you, as you go about your day to day or your week, or however this podcast comes to you, but just every time you have that doubt or that feeling that you are not enough, that you remember that you are enough. So, one more time, ladies, we're going to say it again. I am enough. Take that in and let that keep you till the next podcast. um, and so I would like to tell you too, not only are you enough, but you are worthy. And that's a mantra, ladies, for another day. Um, on another note, talking about building the plane in the sky, I also don't know the frequency in which I'll be posting because I also reject busy culture. Um, I have a few things that I'm working on. And this is a passion project, and this is something I'm very serious about. And I understand that consistency is key to building an audience and all those kinds of things. But I will, consistently post whatever that frequency is. I think right now I want to start off with probably twice a month, every other Wednesday. I like Wednesdays. It's kind of my favorite day of the week, which is why I've chosen a Wednesday drop. But, when as things kind of pick up maybe and I find more time throughout my day or throughout my weeks, I might increase the schedule to posting kind of a every weekly thing. I will assure you, though, that I am committed to posting every 2 weeks. And there'll probably be some bonus episodes where I might have a little bit of time and have a great person that, I'd like to highlight on this podcast, but may or may not kind of fit into the overall theme, but may have some good advice. So, That's what I'm committed to doing. But I reject busy culture, and I refuse to spread myself thin. And that might be something, ladies, you might want to think about as well. Everybody likes to say they're busy. It's kind of the key word that everybody kind of likes. And if you're busy being productive, that's one thing. But busy for the sake of busy, like, yeah, no, I've got better things to do with my time. So I think today's podcast, I want to talk about. So you've decided to travel, right? What does that look like? So what does it mean for you now that you've decided to travel? I was having a conversation with a friend of mine about traveling, um, like with other friends, and knowing and understanding your travel why, and understanding and knowing your travel style. So let's talk about it. What's your travel why? I mean, you can say, again, we talked about this. I'm going to pick on Instagram, and I love Instagram, but I'm going to pick on Instagram. You could say, like, I'm traveling to post pictures for the gram, and that's great. But I really hope that it's more than that. And you can have multiple reasons why you love to travel. I have multiple reasons that I love to travel. For me, travel is very introspective. It allows me to understand myself better and understand my place in the world, and helps me understand the world in general. I mean, there are just so many beautiful places and so many beautiful things. And one of the things that I've really learned about travel is kind of the more we're different, the more we're the same. Um, I've just had really interesting experiences. I'm sorry about the pause. I've had really just interesting experiences. I will tell you about an incident that I came across when I was in Italy a few years ago. Um, there was a, I was having a cappuccino, sitting out, just kind of people watching, and a girl and her boyfriend were having an argument, and it was intense. And it was in Italian, so I had no idea what they were saying, but by her tone and the way she was talking to him, he royally messed up. So it's one of those kind of things. I didn't need to know like exactly what she was saying to him to know that he had messed up some kind of way. Um so yeah, so now that we've kind of talked about a little bit about your travel why, let's talk about your travel style. And by that I mean, what do you like to do when you travel? For me, I like to live like a local. I will put on my comfy dress, and then I throw my backpack on, I throw my hat on, then I hit the streets. I want to eat where the locals eat. I want to go to the off the beaten paths. Um, my trip to Cabo, I actually stayed in, they were some apartments that they had actually converted into a hotel, and it was in the middle of a neighborhood, and it was really great, and it was a 10-minute walk from the beach. And so every day when I kind of took my little jaunt down to the main square, to the beach, I got to see kind of just how the locals lived, and it was really nice. And I was there for about a week, and so people got used to seeing me, so they would wave and speak to me on my way. But that's just how I travel, yo. But if you prefer to stay at the resorts and to dine at the Michelin star restaurants, that's quite okay too. I think it's important that we are very open and honest about who we are as travelers. So if you decide to take a trip with other people, you're kind of well aware of what you need. Because when you travel with other people, obviously there's a compromise. You have to kind of make some concessions to some things that you would do or not do, or do like I do sometimes. Sometimes you just have a day for you. Like I like traveling with the group tours, and then some days I just gotta be like by myself, and that's okay too. You have to understand, again, your travel why, and you have to understand your travel style. Um, for me, I believe that your travel style is born kind of out of your travel why. First and foremost, whatever your travel style is, and whatever your travel why is, be comfortable and stay safe above all else. And so, just one quick thing I'd like to talk about too. in the travel community, there's a notion between a traveler versus a tourist. And people describe a traveler as someone who goes to experience the culture. A tourist is one who agrees to sightsee. While I do kind of agree with that, it's not from like a travel snobbish perspective, but it's also not to say that a tourist can't and does not have meaningful travel experiences. And that, maybe somewhere along their travel journeys, a tourist becomes a traveler that becomes to like really appreciate the culture of these different things and stuff like that. Um, and whether you are a traveler or a tourist, I think the main thing that travel to another country provides you with is, or provides that local economy with, is actually an infusion. A lot of countries are bouncing back from COVID, and tourism is a way to pour money into the economy. So it gives the folks that live there jobs. Whether it really just does really well for the hospitality industry. So please be a mindful traveler or tourist when you're going to these different things. So again, with kind of one of the other things, I don't know how long this thing's gonna be. I'm gonna talk until I run out of stuff, and so I am kind of at the end. I don't want to bore people. I constantly want you to come back for more topics and more conversations. So, um, it's confession time. Why don't you drop down in the comments and tell me your travel why? Or tell me your travel style. Like, what do you like to do when you travel? I'm always looking for fresh and new ideas when I'm on the move. And you could also chime in on, is there a difference between travelers versus tourists? I want to close out with our mantra again, just in case ladies have forgotten. Again, I hope it carries you till the next positive mantra you see, to the next episode where there's another great mantra. And I'm already I had episode 2 going in a different direction, but then I came across a really good mantra that completely resonated with my soul. And I think it'll resonate with a lot of different people. And so, yeah, I think it's going to be the mantra for the second episode. But I am enough. And until next time, guys, happy travels. I'll talk to you later.